Diwali to you too.
Hi.
Hi.
You're looking so pretty.
Thank you. Even you're looking very nice.
Thank you.
Come, let's light some firecrackers. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Vaz.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi.
How are you?
Come, please light firecrackers with us.
Hi. What's going on?
Oh, you don't know?
We are celebrating the great Indian festival, Diwali, the festival of lights.
Has anyone heard? No, I don't know. What's Diwali?
Oh, you don't know about Diwali? Come, let us tell you more about Diwali then.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Diwali is a story that revolves around Ramayan. It is a celebration of the return of Lord Ram from exile and his crowning as the king of Ayodhya. The whole kingdom of Ayodhya rejoiced by lighting lamps, lanterns and fireworks on his homecoming and his crowning as the new king of Ayodhya. And since then, this day is being celebrated as Diwali. Anu will tell us more about how we are going to showcase this thought to you today.
Yeah. So we are doing a very small play today on why Diwali is celebrated. And this story revolves around 5 main characters, that is Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Hanuman and Ravan. This Indian epic was written by a great sage Valmiki, and it depicts courage, bravery, humor, magic, and above all, it depicts that good always triumphs over evil. So let's see how the story unfolds.
Long, long ago, in the kingdom of Ayodhya, there was a very pious, mighty and a noble king called Dashrath, who ruled Ayodhya. Dashrath was getting old and tired. He had 3 sons, Ram, Lakshman and Bharat. All his sons were very dear to him, but he wanted his oldest son Ram to be the next king. However, Kaikeyi, his second wife, blackmailed Dashrath into agreeing to her 2 demands on the grounds of a promise he had made years ago. She wanted that her own son Bharat should be made the next king and that Ram should be sent for an exile to the forest for 14 years. Ram decided to leave for the exile. His faithful wife Sita and his brother Lakshman also decided to join them in the exile. After taking blessings from their father and Kaikeyi, the 3 left for the forest.
As days passed by, the trio got used to the forest life. They built a hut on the banks of a river. They cut wood, collected fruits and vegetables for a living. They led a simple yet a very peaceful life. Everything was going very smooth until one day an anonymous beautiful woman wandering around in the forest spotted Ram meditating and was immediately smitten by Ram's simplicity and youthful beauty. With an intention of marrying him, she tried wooing him. Ram, however, spurned her advances, telling her that he was devoted to his wife Sita and he would never ever take another wife. He instead directed her towards Lakshman. Lakshman refused her proposal too. The woman was actually a demon in disguise called Surpanaka, lost her temper and threatened to eat Sita. Lakshman, at this point, with an intention of protecting Sita, grabbed his knife and cut Surpanaka's nose. Surpanaka ran away in a state of horror and shock. Ram, Lakshman and Sita returned to their normal life. Surpanaka goes crying to her older brother Ravana, also the king of Lanka or the modern Sri Lanka. She told him the story in tears. She also told him about the beautiful Sita Ram is married to. Ravana is enraged by this incident and promises his sister to take revenge sooner or later in some way.
Life is back to routine for the trio. But Ravan, still seeking revenge, schemes a plan to abduct Sita. He sends one of his minions, magically disguised as a beautiful golden deer, to entice Ram and Lakshman away from Sita. Suddenly, Sita spots this beautiful deer and is instantly charmed. She feels the need to pet it immediately and confesses her desire to Ram. Ram, having seen the deer himself, is convinced it to be an illusion, yet, insisted by Sita, goes into the forest to get it for her. However, before he leaves, he ensures Sita's safety by giving the responsibility of safeguarding Sita to Lakshman. Ram leaves in a hurry with his bow and arrow. Ram, chasing the deer, brings it down with his bow, but the deer reverts back to its original demon form before dying and calls out, "Help! Help! Help!" in Ram's voice. Sita, who hears it at a distance, is worried and nudges Lakshman to go and help Ram. Lakshman, sensing a foul play, refuses to leave her alone, but is goaded to leave to look for Ram by Sita. Before he leaves, he draws a magic line called the Lakshman Rekha around the hut and instructs Sita strictly to stay inside the line until he is back with Ram.
Now, as per Ravana's plan to abduct Sita, the demon king himself appears in a disguise, dressed as an old monk begging for food. At first, unaware of the magic line, the monk tries to cross it, only to be forcefully retained back by its magic. The monk insists Sita to cross it, but Sita, remembering Lakshman's words, denies it. The monk is enraged on hearing this and demands Sita into crossing the line, otherwise he would curse her husband to death. Sita, scared with the monk's wrath, decides to cross the line and offer him food. The old man, seizing the opportunity, changes into his Ravan self and abducts Sita. Sita leaves a trail of her jewels without Ravan's notice for Ram to find and rescue her. He takes her to his kingdom in Lanka, or the modern Sri Lanka.
Ram and Lakshman, after learning about Sita's abduction from Jatayu the Eagle King, immediately set out to find and save her. During their search for the many following days, they meet various demons and saints. In their pursuit for Sita, they encounter the mighty Hanuman, monkey god, who was also a devotee of Ram. Hanuman volunteers to find Sita's location. Ram gives his ring to Hanuman so that Sita is convinced that Hanuman is a messenger sent by Ram and that he was on his way to her rescue. Hanuman takes form of a huge monkey and flies to Lanka. After fighting many sea monsters and demons who try to stop him on his way to Lanka, eventually Hanuman finds Ravan's palace, where he sees Sita crying in the garden. He approaches her to give her Ram's ring, which she recognizes at once. Hanuman assures Sita that Ram is on his way to her rescue. Just as naughty as any monkey can be, Hanuman enters the city of Lanka
Jai Sri Ram!
and begins to destroy the city around him with his tail, which was set on fire by Ravan's men. He swings his long blazing tail and goes on a rampage which ends in the burning of a large part of the city.
Jai Sri Ram! Assuring
himself that Sita's pavilion is safe, Hanuman leaps into the air and flies back to Ram.
Ram and Lakshman were eagerly waiting for Hanuman's news.
Jai Sri Ram.
On Hanuman's return, he narrated Sita's plight to Ram. On hearing this, Ram was enraged in a split second and vowed to put an end to Ravana's atrocities. Deciding to end the menace forever, Ram and Lakshman set to lead the army towards Lanka. Finally, on reaching the southernmost tip of India, they were obstructed by the enormous sea and were wondering on how to cross the sea. On the advice of the sea god, Hanuman and the other monkey soldiers engraved Sri Ram on huge boulders and built a causeway by hurling them into the sea, and thus crossed the enormous sea and reached Lanka.
After many guerrilla attacks, Ram and Ravan finally face each other. Ram challenges Ravan to war. Ravan, being at par with Ram's power, accepts the challenge. After a long, gruesome, dreadful and devastating battle, Ram cuts off Ravan's head. However, to Ram's surprise, Ravan regenerates his head, which is a boon from God. After repeated attempts to kill Ravan by chopping his head off, Ram realizes the secret to kill Ram is to destroy his nectar pot. Ram aims at Ravan's belly, which is the source behind Ravan's immortality, and thus terminates him. Ram, Lakshman and Hanuman then rescue Sita and return back to Ayodhya. So the 14 years of exile being over, Ram, Sita, Lakshman and Hanuman returned to Ayodhya, and the whole kingdom of Ayodhya rejoiced by lighting lamps, lanterns and fireworks, and Ram was then crowned the new king of Ayodhya. So with that, since that day, Diwali is being celebrated by lighting lamps and crackers, and which is why it's known as the Indian Festival of Lights. So happy Diwali to all of you, and hope you enjoyed our skit here.
Happy Diwali. Thank you.
Can I get a big round of applause for them? I'm really sure